Madden football brings you the divisional round. And it's brought to you.
We are in the first quarter. We get you back to the action to see how this defense can do on this upcoming drive. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Meanwhile, Willis' throw complete to McBride.
And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
To throw, here's Willis.
And this is caught. It's Parker. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
They have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority 1.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Willis now off the play fake.
Bind.
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free.
And the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. They begin with a run by Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Holding offense.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Now Willis to throw.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack.
Willis.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Falcons are set up. Early on in the game, first quarter. Let's see how this defense does on this drive. Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 21-0 our score after 1. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Second down, here's Willis. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Back to throw, Willis. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores. And
the Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Willis. This goes out wide from Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but it did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5.
Willis from the gun on third down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few complete.
And that's caught inside the 35.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Let's go now.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
On first down, Willis.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but
Come on!
Says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Again to throw, Willis on 2nd down.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's Willis, 3rd and long.
This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now they're
or visit therocketadvantage.com.
New Subway Series menu, the greatest sandwich roster ever assembled. For more on the new boss, here's Patrick Mahomes. Incredible. Meatballs, fresh mozzarella, and pepper rub. Oh, the meatballs out. I thought we never fumbled. The new Subway Series. What's your pick?
Pat Barry back in our college football studios. A look at what's going on around our family of networks. ESPNU Cincinnati tied with Miami, Ohio, and over on ESPN2. The house McDonough built, Syracuse, Purdue. Have a look.
Offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Scott, ready?
First and 10, Willis.
Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
To try again after the sack. Willis, pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Here's Willis. Steps away to his left.
That'll work.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body.
Ah!
He'll take this back down inside the 20.
I think this one went away very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Following the interception, they're set up nicely here already. So we're in the 3rd quarter. We'll see how this defense handles the upcoming drive as the offense takes over with a 1st and 10.
Ready, set.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Willis. He's got McBride here over the middle. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. To throw, here's Willis. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Out.
Beginning of the drive, 1st and 10 coming up for the offense. We'll see how this defense does here in the 3rd quarter.
Ready, ready.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Atlanta, Georgia's the spot, and glad to have you along for the ride. 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. Willis. Dancing to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Nifty move. It'll be a The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Come on.
Now Willis on 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now
he's making him throw it to his damn
feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling.
A good spot to be in for this defense. They'll head back out, protecting a big lead here in this fourth quarter of play.
Willis will try again here after the pick six.
To Mixon on the check down. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throwing again on second down.
Willis, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on third down tonight, it has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Third down, it's Willis.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
He'll take it at the 42. Oh, heck of a move.
Man.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, dog.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Willis
Forced out to his left.
Willis takes a hit and the ball is free.
And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Wow.
And they have secured a spot
Wow,
in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
Give me a hug.